Today, Insta360 have released a brand new camera, the One RS. And a few days ago, they sent me one to have a play with. Today's video is going to be a first look at what this new camera has to offer. First up, this is the Twin Edition. So this is actually two cameras in one. You've got a 4K lens, and then you've got a 360 lens, and the whole thing is modular. So you've got this red battery base, which comes off just like that, and you have the brains of the camera, and the screen, and the lens part. It all clips together nice and neatly, and then slides inside this cage thing, which lets you fit it on your existing action camera mounts. Now, over the course of this video, I'll overlay some footage and label it as well, so you can see exactly what lens I'm using for the appropriate shot. This is the 4K lens, and probably your most familiar action camera style lens. It's a 16mm equivalent, so actually similar to what I'm shooting on my DSLR. It's called the 4K lens because it shoots in 4K, and that's what you're seeing right now. All of the footage here is shot with the settings out of the box, so it's already set to 4K. It includes in-camera stabilization, which is what they call flow state, and it's safe to say this thing is really stable. Here's some footage where I took Tony's cyclocross bike, which has no suspension, mind you, down a little bit of single track with the 4K camera in my mouth, attached to the grill mount, and well, I think the footage speaks volumes. It is very, very smooth. That's with no post-production stabilization or editing at all. I'm really not sure what kind of magic they use to achieve this, and I wish this technology existed in bigger cameras. It really does blow my mind, and it does it all in real time as well. When you're using the camera and you're looking at the screen as you're riding along, it's smooth. It's not doing it afterwards. Anyway, back to the features. Build quality feels premium, which is something you want from an action camera, particularly because it's probably going to take a bit of a beating. Unclipping and removing the modular parts feels solid and quite confidence inspiring. It all feels very positive. Once you do put it in its cage thing, it's then waterproof to up to 16 feet. I'm not sure exactly when you'd end up 16 feet underwater if you're cycling, but if you do, it's waterproof. You crash into a river or something like that. The 4K module, which I'm shooting with now, has a 1/2-inch sensor. So that's bigger than most other action cameras, which should mean the low light capabilities are better. All action cameras tend to perform quite well when you're outside in broad daylight and it's sunny, but this is a great example of what it would be like indoors. And even further back in my studio where there's no natural light, still looks pretty good on here. Reliability over the last few days has been excellent. The camera turns on quickly when you want it to. There is a feature inside which is indicated on the menus by a little bunny rabbit, which once turned on means you can activate and turn on the camera. It starts it rolling with just one button press. You hit that red button even when the camera's off, and it starts recording after a few seconds. It's been very reliable. I haven't missed any shots over the last few days when I've been using it, so very happy with the reliability of this so far. They have updated the core processor since the last edition of this camera, so it is faster. The little touchscreen works really well. The Wi-Fi transfer is faster, and the stabilization is better too. So lots of upgrades to the core functionality of the previous camera, which was the One R. Now, if you have a One R, you can actually use the parts that come with this. It's all interchangeable. So if you want to try out the new 4K lens, you can actually use that on your older camera and upgrade things slowly, piece by piece. One massive upgrade that I'm very happy about is the audio. As some of you may have experienced when you cycle a bicycle with a camera, audio can be an issue because it's very windy, and if it's not windy, you're going fast, so you create the wind. My solution to this in the past has been to put little fluffy things over my camera's microphones. Whether it's a big camera, whether it's an action camera, it always seems to do the trick quite well, but it's a bit of a compromise because then you have to stick them on and sometimes they fall off. The case of this camera has a fluffy thing just inside the microphone hole. You're not going to be able to see this, you're just going to have to trust me. Basically, there's a little foamy windshield inside there that covers the microphone. So here's a clip of what it sounds like outside. Little audio test for this camera out on the lanes today where there is a breeze, not as windy as usual in the Pennines, but a good opportunity to test it while moving out on the bike to see how well the audio picks up. They've changed the microphones, they've actually added an extra one to improve the audio quality, so this is what it sounds like. Loud noises. Hallelujah. Thank you so much, camera designers, for putting that in. So useful. Like with all the previous Insta360 cameras, there's loads of accessories too, like the hot shoe mount, rubber lens cap thing for your 360 lens, microphone adapter, which is actually really small and neat compared to the ones I've used in the past, which means you can fit an external microphone for improved audio quality if you're shooting something that needs, you know, crisp voices. Spare battery bases, so you can carry more than one of these and then switch them out when it's getting low. The battery on this camera is actually 21% more capacity than the old one. You then have an assortment of clips and clamps. This is the bike bundle you can buy, but it will fit all existing action camera mounts. So if you want to use something third party, like I throw it on the grill mount, then you can. It's your normal fitting with your little screw. Now, regular viewers of this channel will know that this is kind of what I default to because it's small and easy to carry, and I think it's the best and most versatile way to shoot when you're on the bike. But filming this video, I was allowed to get a bit creative. So I took the selfie stick, which is, well, really long, and wanted to see what I could get with, firstly, the standard action camera. You can get shots like this, where you hold it up in the air and it basically looks like a drone. Really cool. Bear in mind we found a nice quiet road to do this on, but the results are fantastic, and that's just with the stabilization with the 4K camera. Where things get even more interesting is when you add the 360 camera into the mix and combine it with the invisible selfie stick. Why is it invisible? So when you put this 360 module in, this camera becomes a 360 camera, which means the image it takes is literally 360 degrees around it. To explain how it actually does that, it's two cameras and they both take significantly over 180 degree images, and then they get stitched together afterwards. Now that might sound a bit daunting, but it's actually much easier than you think. You install the Insta360 app, connect that via Bluetooth to the camera, and then it can actually do it completely automatically if you just choose one of the AI shots. You can then reframe it as well, or you can go the whole hog and install the computer software, which is what I've been using to reframe my images that you'll be seeing on the screen now. If you've done any video editing before, it will seem quite familiar, and what they've included is keyframes. So you move the image around with your mouse, you can zoom in and out, which is where the 5.7K resolution becomes really important, because you want as much data as possible, so when you do zoom in, you don't lose too much quality. And then when you're happy with the image, you plonk a keyframe down. Do that over the whole timeline, and then you can export the clip, and it will move nice and smoothly through all of the transitions. Now, one very cool thing is that when you put this camera straight onto the selfie stick, like that, it actually edits out the stick, so you can't see it at all. Hence the name, Invisible Selfie Stick. You might have seen this on my good friend Lawrence Carpenter's channel before, where he rides along with this in his hand, but you can't see the stick. I tried to copy that. I hope I did it justice. It's a really fantastic perspective, particularly if you're riding on your own and you want to get a shot of yourself. You can basically pretend that there's someone out in front of you filming backwards, which is cool. In the past, I've actually stuck the selfie sticks to my bike and had them out the back, and it kind of gives you like a video game style look. So really the possibilities with this are endless, and yeah, I think it's one of the coolest features with this camera. I was just gonna do a shout out for your channel and tell everyone how good you are using an invisible selfie stick.
We're actually in Italy right now, but we're staying in France. Francis, you should have come skiing. Can you ski?
No, everybody subscribe to Lawrence. Thanks to him for giving me the idea with the invisible selfie stick. So in conclusion, I'm very happy with how this performed and excited to try it out over the next few weeks in some different scenarios. Got a couple of bike builds coming, which won't be road bikes. So stay tuned for some more videos filmed with this on their new bikes. If there was a word to sum up this, it would definitely be versatility. Because of the two different cameras you get, I hope this video was useful and showcased some of the ways you can shoot with an action camera while cycling. Any questions you have, please put them down below. There'll be a link in the description of this video to the Insta360 website, and if you buy one of these cameras through that link, then I'll earn a small portion of revenue. So a big thanks to Insta360 for supporting this channel and sending me one of these guys a few days early. Thank you guys for watching, and see you out on the road soon.